Hey, it used to be Tuesday, and this is another movie monkey review. That's right, it used to be Tuesday. I went and saw a late show of the Amazing Spider-Man Homecoming, or I'm pretty sure, or Spider-Man Ultimate, whatever, a reboot, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed how that the Spider-Man character is this almost surreal version of the superhero movie genre, where most superhero movies are taking themselves really seriously, and this is the world, and this is why they're superheroes, and they're like ex-military, or there's all these different reasons and circumstances of why they're superheroes. And I like how this movie sets up that 8 years ago the attack on New York happened, and the Spider-Man character is 15. So for the last 8 years of his life, since he's been 7 years old, he's known superheroes. And this movie really brings that kind of everyday life aspect that you don't really get too much of in the other superhero movies. I mean, a lot of them are like way distanced, and they're all talking like they're inside Shield, and everybody gets it. Everybody's on the same team. Where here it's like he's at high school, and for like the last 8 years of his life that was a buzz, and now it's kind of like whatever. They bring that out where the Captain America is on all these like things about like go to gym class, like a healthy body is a super body and stuff like that, like stupid stuff that you would see in school, but like using a superhero to have it happen, like doing some propaganda for America, as Captain America does. And like I really enjoy that, and how like the teacher was like, I don't know, I think he's a war criminal or something, but I gotta show these things, like it needs to happen. It's a requirement for me to show you this. So it's funny how like people's political views and like views of superheroes is influenced and like is really fleshed out in this movie, I think, a lot more than all the other movies, just because like all the characters around the Spider-Man character are like fans, or they have some, there's a lot of distance between Iron Man and like Spider-Man's best friend, and that is like he's just like shocked and awed by his best friend being a superhero. And I really enjoy a lot of that stuff. I enjoyed like he wants to be the guy in the chair, and like Spider-Man characters like Peter Parker's like, what do you mean guy in the chair? And he's like, I just want to be this guy, the guy, like you're in a burning building and I have all these screens around me and I'm telling you like which way to go so you don't get burnt. I want to be that guy. I want to be the guy in the chair for you. And he's like, no, you can't be the guy in the chair. That doesn't even make any sense. You can't be just guy in a chair. That's not real. And it's funny how like I can only imagine like the Saturday morning cartoon where they had like a knockoff superhero cartoon or something when they were growing up, and then there was the guy in the chair, like the buddy, or like, and how that's supposed to play out. And I really enjoy that. Like, yeah, that's exactly kind of like how I would be thinking if I was in that position. Like, oh, I want to do stuff, but I don't know if I'm not a superhero, but I could be the guy that's like your mechanic and like straps missiles onto your cars and stuff. Like, that would be really cool. So like I think that aspect of this movie was my favorite part. And the villain was really good, the Vulture, and his like getting screwed by the man who's Tony Stark, who's like the hero for everyone else, but he's like this person's villain because he stole his work and his livelihood, and he thought he was going to be going to, like, life was over for him. And then he turned to crime, almost like Breaking Bad. Like, the man never gave anything to me, so now I'm going to become like Breaking Bad and selling crystal meth. Instead of selling crystal meth, he's selling like things that blow up walls. He's selling equipment to villains to cause mayhem and destruction, and he's profiting from that. He's a warmonger almost, right? And there's a lot of story about that. I mean, the acting was really good. He like super solid role. I like there's a scene where he like picks up this gun and he shoots this guy with it, and it vaporizes the guy, like instantly vaporizes him. He goes, "I thought this was the anti-gravity gun." It's like, no, the anti-gravity gun's over there. Oh, okay. Like he's just completely disconnected. He's just completely disconnected from what he's doing. It's like a means to an end, and has no more conscience. And like that was really put into play. And there's like this great scene with him and Peter Parker, and like him trying to figure out if Peter Parker, like what's up with Peter, and like he figures out that he's Spider-Man. And it's a really good tension-filled scene where I like kind of wanted to giggle, or like it was so like uncomfortable. And so the movie really did that for me. Like it sucked me in, and I kind of forgot about like the movie giving me a curveball, you know. And I was so ingrained and taken in by the characters and the world and how they're approaching the world that I was completely blindsided by a couple of events in the movie, which was awesome. I really like being sucked into a movie, and I was really impressed that I was out of my head and really enjoying the movie. For a lot of the movie, most of the movie, I was like really enjoying it. And the only time I was like kind of in my head is when I would laugh at like a line, and I think something's really funny, and then like nobody else in the theater would laugh. That was like the only time when I thought like I was like, "Oh, that was so funny. That character shouldn't have done that." And then no one else really. That wasn't what was happening for everyone else. But anyways, other than that, highly recommended. I think it was really cool, like really interesting pseudoscience going on. Spider-Man, like a little rant, I guess, is like Spider-Man would say stuff like, "Oh, that must be a transponder," or like, "This is that," and he's like saying it for the audience, which I don't really like when like the character says something for the audience to get. Like he's on top of a roof and they use some equipment and he like explains it a little bit out loud. I'm like, there's no reason why he should be explaining that stuff to us. I would like to just like not have that happen and just kind of guess what's going on. Oh, I can reach a whole... Stuff gets put on this thing and earlier some stuff is just over-explained, and it's a little annoying to me because I already got it. I didn't need the breaking character to tell me. Like, it doesn't make any sense why that character would tell me. The movie already told me and foreshadowed it 10 minutes ago. Like, I stuck around and I paid attention, so yeah, that's my only little like thing, my tiff. It's like, just respect me as the audience, and if somebody doesn't get it, they get to watch the movie again. Like, that's just how it should be, or how I like to think movies should be. I digress. You have a great day, and see you guys later. Bye.